Hi, everybody. I want to introduce myself. My name is Jovan Myers. I'm the founder of Opportunity Exposed, and I wanted to bring different students together and different educators together to speak about different college programs, different programs that are going on in the schools, and then also to connect you guys to different community organizations. So we have a few people still looking to join us for our first Expose Her Foster Youth Empowerment Summit. This isn't just for foster youth, but it's going to be for different teen girls everywhere. And we just want to make sure that we're building a community and that we have different people ready to just impact lives and just build community, especially during the winter time. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to introduce some of the speakers that we have for today. We have Miss Shakila Stewart, and you can come off of mute and say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today.
And then we also have Miss Regina.
Greetings, everyone. So happy to be here with you today.
And then you'll be hearing from them a little later. And then also we have, we're gonna have Mr. Cantor join us, and I'll explain a little bit of what he does. So again, my name is Jovan Myers. I'm the founder of Opportunity Exposed, but I also work for the LA County Office of Education. And in that, we have different programs that are geared towards our students. So we have programs that are geared towards foster youth, and we have over 80 school districts in LA County, and we have a foster youth liaison for all of those school districts. So everybody, if you're in a foster youth program or you know of somebody in foster youth and you want to provide them with information, they can email cantor_Larry at lacoe.edu, and then I'll be giving you guys this information as well. I will email it out to you guys for the participants. And within those programs, we have different resources, different community resources going all the way from Antelope Valley all the way down to Long Beach. So we have pretty much all of LA County covered. And then I want to introduce you to Lizette. She is over one of our foster youth programs with our LA Community College District. She is directly at LA Pierce College. And I believe, Joanna, your name is like mine. My name is Jovan, so I love you already. And then Joanna, she is a counselor as well with two of the programs that are geared towards foster youth at LA Pierce College. So can you guys, they just had a holiday party, and I was like, can you guys like jump on and just give some information? So if you guys could jump on and give us some information about different foster youth resources that you guys have, especially for our transitional age youth and for our current students that may be looking to go to college.
Yeah, so definitely. So hi, everyone. I also wanted to mention Yvonne Sandoval. She's on the call, and she's
Hi,
our next
Yvonne.
up counselor here at Pierce College. Joanna is our Guardian Scholars counselor, and I'm the coordinator. I'm not a counselor, but I'm the coordinator, and we're a mighty small team. And one of the wonderful things we do is we help students first apply to EOPS. And the reason for that is because many students are eligible for EOPS, and you don't have to be in foster or be part of foster youth or be a foster youth student to be eligible for EOPS. This is open to all students. They do have some requirements. The student has to have financial need and be from a educationally disadvantaged, so that could be first generation. And many of our students are, especially those coming to a community college. So we first try to get them into EOPS. EOPS has their own counselors. And in addition to that, we offer book vouchers and workshops once they're ready to transfer to the Cal State or the UC system. Another great thing is if students are in EOPS, they are eligible for 4 UC and 4 CSU application fee waivers, so they don't have to pay out of pocket for the first 4 universities for both of those systems when they're ready to apply. And of course, we do this big party at the end of their journey here at Pierce College, and we send them off to their next journey. Within EOPS, we have Next Step, and Next Step is for foster youth, current and former foster youth. And it offers all the goodies that EOPS does. But on top of that, there's also a Next Step grant that is offered to students at the end of the semester. And this is money that's tagged specifically for students that are foster youth that are part of the program. And the amounts vary depending on our budget. But I'm very happy to say this fall semester, our students, the majority of them got $3,000. So that's money that they get to use for whatever they need. And it's every semester that they're going to get a grant as long as they're enrolled and they're connecting with their counselors. So that's one of the major perks of Next Step. In addition to that, while they're taking classes here, we offer them meal assistance, transportation assistance, and we also have a lounge, so they get to come in and hang out with other students that are part of the program. And our hope is to continue to build community at Pierce, so students can share the information and really feel like it's a cohort. Because sometimes being a student at a community college can be an isolating experience, especially if they're working and commuting. So with all of that, students for Next Step need to have been part of the foster care system at the age of 13 or after. And we help them on board and get the verification or work with their ILP coordinators in order to get approved, in order to get into the program. And in addition to that, there used to be some requirements before about number of units. That is off the table. We take students where they're at. So as long as they're enrolled in one class, whether that's 1 unit or 3 units or 5, whatever that is, as long as they're eligible and they have the verification of foster youth, then we can go ahead and enroll them into the program. And we also help with FAFSA. That's something that we want to make sure that our students do apply for FAFSA. It's not a requirement for them to have FAFSA or CADA already on file. We can help them with the process. And we started also making sure that students are on track so they file on time so they can maximize the amount of money they're going to get back from FAFSA and CADA. In addition to that, I think that's all I have for Next Step. I'm going to pass it on to Joanna so she can share more about Guardian Scholars. And Yvonne, if you want to add to this, feel free to.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us here. So like introduced, I am the Guardian Scholars Counselor here at Los Angeles Pierce College. So Guardian Scholars is another program that we have for our foster youth students. One of the big differences between Guardian Scholars and Next Step is there's an age limit in a sense. So in order for students to apply to Next Up, they need to have been, like Lisette said, at least 13 years or older within when they were into the system. But there's also a limit as to when they can apply to the program. So if, let's say, I believe the limit is 26. So they have that limit. But let's say we have students who took a break in between and then they come back, and let's say that they are 30 or 27, right? You are still able to get services through Guardian Scholars so that we can help with that. We are also in the works of trying to see if we can change that age limit for us too, because at the moment our students are same with if you were in the system at age 13 or older. We're trying to see if we can do some edits to the program so that we can get more students who were in the system prior to that, because obviously students need those resources. So we're trying to be able to provide those resources to our students. As a counselor, we meet with our students and Guardian Scholars at least once per semester. For Next Up, they meet with us. They do 3 contacts with us so that we can connect with them, make sure that we're doing an educational plan based off of the student's goals, whether they want a certificate, an associate's degree, they want to transfer, and we meet the student, like Lisette said, where they're at, right? So it may be 1 class at a time, maybe 2 classes at a time, fall, spring, winter, etc. We'll be able to adjust based off of the student's goals. For both programs, we also provide workshops so that students can meet with us. So for example, this semester, we had a workshop on time management, one about mental health, and then we recently had one about financial literacy. So we go based off of what our students are interested in or want help on. And then we also, during the spring semester, are planning some field trips for our students so that we can see different universities that they might be interested in. And also, like Lisette said, build that community so that we are, all together and being able to, live with one another. And again, that big part of the community. Yeah, that's basically it too. Yeah, questions or anything? Or Yvonne, I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Oh, I was just going to say, you all wrapped it up very beautifully. We are a high touch program, so we do reach out to our students if, let's say, for example, we don't hear from them. So even if you have a student who's interested in our program, we're happy to walk them from the beginning. Even if they're not eligible yet, it's fine. We'll work with them to make sure they, like Joanna said, we do meet at least 3 times per semester. And then also we have things such as like grocery card, gift cards from time to time. If we see that a student, is really needing of that assistance, gas cards. Again, it's based on our budget and availability, but if we can do that for a student, our motto is an EOPS over and above, and for next step is and beyond. So there are students who we meet with almost weekly because they need that assistance and that guidance. And so even if it's just to come in and say hi and, as they're in the lounge, just ask them a quick question just to kind of check in. That is our motto over here. So if you ever have any students who might be interested in our program or in Pierce, we're happy to answer any questions. You can always send them our way. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you guys as well. I know that it is like I said, I know that it is your holiday party. And so what we're gonna do is we're sending this video to different foster youth as well. And then some of the students are gonna be able to participate. But as far as your programs, how do you go about having like different speakers come in or different groups come in to assist the students too?
By speakers, you mean like in the semester base and our
Yeah.
workshops?
Mhm.
Okay, so this was this semester, what we ended up doing for the mental health. Yvonne reached out to our health center, and the director came in with a psychologist on staff to come and share more about the resources, but also to put a face to the name, right? Because there's a lot of stigma with mental health, and also it could be very daunting to go in and see a psychologist, and especially when we
Yeah.
don't know who the person looks like, right? So it was nice to have built that connection. So when we do have these workshops, we always reach out to students at the beginning or prior to the beginning of the semester to get a feel for what they want to learn more about.
Yeah.
And then we look first internally, who are the people on staff on campus that can help us. But we're looking forward now. We have a little bit of funding through Guardian Scholars that we can use to reach out to the community and get some guest speakers and other community partners that could come in and share that information. So every semester is a little different depending on what the student wants to learn more about. But we're always open to sharing new things with students.
But what I love about that is that you guys are like providing them with different, like a different aspect of resources when they're going there. So that's why I was asking that question. But I know that you guys are on your holiday party, so I don't want to take up too much time, but I really appreciate you guys coming on, and I have your email contact information. Is that okay for me to share with the students? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So I appreciate you guys again. Thank you,
Thank
Yvonne,
you.
Joanna, Lizette. It was nice meeting you guys too virtually.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you.
holidays.
You guys have a happy holiday too. Next up, we're gonna have Miss Shakila Stewart.
Counselors, youth, ministers, teachers, students, I invite you to walk with me around the world as we inspire this generation to dream, believe, and succeed against all odds. My mission in life is to help women and youth develop a healthy self-esteem, overcome obstacles, so that they will have the confidence to pursue and achieve their dreams and goals in life. In my Chin Up, I Got This classes, we start off with affirmations, because I know that in order for youth and women to achieve their goals in life, they need a positive self-esteem.
I am strong, I am worthy. I am respectful and I am caring. I am caring and I am grateful.
We do so many different I ams, so they have the art of building themselves up, looking in the mirror every day and saying affirmations.
Why do we use affirmations in class? To show that we're strong. Because everybody may not have confidence and they need that confidence.
This class has helped me a lot because I'm not a people's person, so it helps me open up to people that I don't know and build relationships, build friendships.
This class has helped me with my confidence because personally I'm a shy person. So Ms. Stewart helps bring me out of my shell.
And then we go into posture, presence, and personality, because we know that we can't achieve any goal in life without having posture, presence, or personality.
This class has helped me with my confidence, especially by the 3 Ps, because posture, personality, and presence, because especially with my posture, because I did slouch a lot, especially walking into a room. I think I feel more confident now because every time I walk into a room, I sit up more.
Secondly, we go through an 8-count dance routine. It's teaching them how to persevere through obstacles.
Walking the hill connects to achieving my goals because it's helping me get over obstacles. One of my biggest obstacles was trying to learn how to walk in the hills. And trying to learn how to walk in the hills, how I motivated myself to walk in the hills, I can motivate myself to accomplish my goals.
Obstacles. Everybody say obstacles. Obstacles. What are obstacles? We all have obstacles in life, yes? Yes.
And lastly, I have the women and the youth walk down the runway saying their name in affirmation, and also boldly telling the world what their dream and goal is in life. And it's symbolic too. They're walking through life obstacles like it's their runway, with their chin up, their shoulders back, and their happy face on, and knowing that they got this.
You say, for instance, you got on heels and you fall. You don't focus on the obstacle. You focus on where you're going with your heels.
Which way do you walk? This way. Which way do you walk? This way. With your what? Chin up, shoulders back, happy face, and work. That's right.
So let's give it up for Shaquila. We thank you for that awesome introduction, working with the girls and just seeing, even not only do you work with girls, but you also work with young women, you work with adults. So this is an awesome thing for you. And for us to be able to just share and be able to see what you're doing in the community too. So let me bring up Miss Shaquila.
Hi, guys. Hi, Jovan. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity.
Hold on, we still can't hear you. Hold on. There we go.
Hi, Jovan. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity, and just everybody that's watching. As I was watching it, honestly, it made me want to cry. And I think that's why it's important that we do things like this for youth who are in foster care. Because looking at that video, you wouldn't know all the things that I had to persevere and walk through in order to show up and tell people, walk with your chin up, shoulders back, happy face, you got this. Because it was so many times in life where I didn't go to school with my chin up or my shoulders back or a happy face. So that's very important for kids to know, especially for directors who are in school. I was in foster care growing up as a kid, and I didn't always feel good about myself. I didn't think that I would be a person growing up that somebody would look up to and root for. But look, it's like, wow, So I just want to encourage an educator or any youth who is in foster care or any teen girl or young person that you might be dealing with some self-esteem issues. You might think that you're not good enough or that you don't have what it takes. I just want to tell you to keep going, because life gets better. And it doesn't matter how you start in life. What matters is how you finish. And so everything that you're going through right now in life, it's all working for your good. And as a kid, if you are a youth and you are in foster care and you don't know how to really express your emotions, maybe you can write a letter or you can talk to one of your teachers. That's what I used to do a lot as a kid. I would write a letter, or I would make up dance routines or tell stories. And when I was 9 years old, I discovered that I shared the same birthday as Oprah. And so from that moment on, I told myself that I was going to be a model, actor, dancer, and performer. And that's what I end up becoming. And so I just want to tell you that your dreams and your goals in life can come true. You can do anything that you put your mind to. But every day you get up in the morning, you have to do those affirmations. You have to look in the mirror and say, I am strong, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am enough, even when you don't feel like it. Because guess what? It's going to be some days that you don't feel like you cute or you're smart or you're strong. But that's when you have the power of your voice to say, I got this. Chin up, shoulders back, happy face. You got this. And you have to learn how to root for yourself, because you may not have your mother there. You might not have the counselor there all the time. And you may not have the teacher there all the time. But guess what? You have you. And as long as you have yourself and you have your voice, you get up and you look in that mirror and you say, I'm going to be something in life. I'm going to work hard in life. I'm going to connect with the right people so that I can be successful in life, because you can. And I used to be so ashamed that I wasn't raised by my parents. But as I've gotten older, I'm so grateful that I went through that experience, because now I get to empower and I get to inspire so many girls. I get to inspire so many women to think differently about themselves, to know just because you're not raised with your parents doesn't mean you're not valuable, because you still are valuable. Maybe you're not raised with your father. That doesn't mean you're not valuable. You're still valuable. Maybe you do live in foster care and you're not with your family, but guess what? You are still valuable. You still matter, and your voice is still heard. And you have a great purpose, and you have so much that you can offer the world. And how you do that is you discover your gifts and talents. Discover what you're good at. Like I said, when I was a kid, I used to write a lot. So then guess what? I became an author. So I have a book out called Chin Up, You Got This, and it's available on Amazon. I had a book signing at Barnes and Nobles, and it's a bestseller. So no matter how you start in life, you can be anything that you want to be. So don't let anybody stop you. Don't allow just people bullying you. And they, being in elementary school, I got teased about not being raised with my parents. And that could have stopped me, but I allowed it to empower me. As I said before, I got those affirmations. I'm strong, I'm creative, I'm talented, I'm beautiful, I'm enough, I got this. And who would have thought that those moments was preparing me to create a movement for women? Walk this way, teaching them how to walk with confidence, with your chin up, with your shoulders back, and a happy face on, with a mindset that I got this. And so many people might say, as educators, will say, well, you know what, you're teaching the girls how to walk in heels. Some people don't agree with that. But the only reason why I teach women and youth, I use the tool of heels to teach them to build confidence, because heels hurt. Walking in heels hurt. But obstacles in life hurt too, right? So I create an opportunity for them to have a moment of pain. Well, it doesn't feel good, to teach them how to persevere through that. so that they know when you have an obstacle in life, you have to persevere through that pain. You can't stop, because if you stop, you're not going to get to the end of it. So it's just creating a mindset for you to let you know that you can do and you can be anything you want to be. And so educators, that's my program, is Chin Up, You Got This. So we start off with affirmations. We do posture, presence, and personality technique. And then we do a dance routine in heels, which is teaching them to try something new, step outside of their comfort zone, knowing that they got this. And then at the end, they work the runway saying their name, their dream, and the runway represents that they're walking towards their dreams and goals in life. And so that's the initial workshop. So if we come out to your school and you enjoy the initial workshop, after that, we have a 6-week program where students can go through the book. So we'll read it's 12 chapters in the book. So it's a 6-week program. They read the chapters in the book, and we have Q&A, self-reflective questions where they can ask themselves questions and keep a journal so that they'll have answers to some of the things that they're dealing with inside as well. So yeah, so that's it. So thank you guys so much for your time. And let me hear you guys say chin up, shoulders back, happy face, and say, I got this.
Chin up, happy face, shoulders back.
I got this.
Got this.
That's right. Thank you guys. You got this. You got this. Y'all strong. Y'all beautiful. You amazing. You enough. And I'm going to tell you this. The unique part about the class is this. Like I said, every day you're not going to be feeling like you're amazing. Some days you're going to feel like, man, my chin is down. I'm not feeling good. But that's when you have to know who your friends are. That's when you have to be surrounded by people you know that you can talk to, that you can trust, and you can really tell them how you're doing, because then they're going to say, chin up, you got this, and it's going to be okay. So thank you all.
Amen. Can I go out of order real quick, JoJo?
Yes. No, I mean to cry. I'm like, oh my
God. No, you good. But I have my brother Samuel on that I invited because I have you powerful women on here right now. And I've been blessed to be able to talk with him and mentor him. And he has a daughter that I think you guys would be able to really impact. She's going through a tough time. I let them tell their story, but she's going through some things. And I think from a woman's perspective, you know, we can only say so much as men. And from a woman's perspective, from you guys going through some things, I would love to connect you with Sam and be able to, you know, put an impartation in on his daughter, because like I said, she is going through something. You know, he's a great brother and he's doing he's changed his life and he's on the right track. But, you know, our past also affects our children. And so I would just love to be able to connect you guys, because I'm not sure how long he can stay on. So I was blessed that he jumped on because I shared the link, but I just wanted to make sure it's okay if I share you guys' info, because I think it would be a blessing for her to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
So, amen.
Yes,
amen.
That would be awesome. And I'll give you everybody's contact information on here. So we'll have it in the email that I send out as well, so that people, different schools and different students can connect with you guys too. And Shaquila, I think you're being modest because you really didn't share a lot of your story. But we'll leave that there. I mean, you really didn't share a lot of your story. So
what is there something else you want me to share?
Well, I do want you to kind of just speak about your book, and then how you talked about like going through school from elementary school to college, and then being in foster care, and how that, you know, assisted you or made you, you know, do well, or how it may have hindered you in some ways. Like, what was that process like for you? And especially writing about your story.
I think, like I said, how it affected me while I was younger, it just pushed me to go harder. Mm-hmm. It really pushed me to set goals for myself. Like I said, once I discovered that I shared the same birthday as Oprah when I was 9, something in my mind just switched. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be someone great in life. I'm gonna be something. So I said, I'm gonna be a model, actor, director. And then at 17, I was a national commercial print ad for the hairline Lusters. And I'm originally from Chicago. And so during that time, I got a scholarship through this modeling program that I was going through, John Robert Powers, and they flew me here to Hollywood. And at 17, you know, so I had an opportunity to be a theater director here, very young, but I decided to go to college. So I ended up going to college, and I got a degree in theater as well. So I've been on Insecure, I've been on the Steve Harvey show, I've been on the Kelly Clarkson show. So I have really been blessed, and I've had a very successful career. And so the one thing that I would tell any student is to set those goals for yourself, but also know that when you fall short, still love yourself.
Yeah.
That's very important, because I would say this, just being transparent too, I still grew up in a very strict Christian household. And so I had this in my mind, like, Shaquila, you have to be so successful. You have to be a go-getter. You have to do this and that, for lack of better words, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna put it out here to you. I thought I made a huge mistake in college where when I grew up in church and I was taught you have to wait until marriage to have sex. And so I didn't. And after that, I dealt with a lot of condemnation. I even went through like depression, and it was so bad because that was the first time where I really had a goal that I didn't achieve. And so I really dealt a lot with my identity, and it was just a really hard thing for me. And so I just want to tell students that don't be so hard on yourself. Forgive yourself. Make sure you talk to somebody and let them know how you're feeling, and know that your identity is not in your success or failure. Even if you don't achieve this big dream you have, you're still valuable. Even if you do achieve the dream, that doesn't make you less than, greater than, you're still valuable. So that's one of the things that I just want to let you all know. Don't ever allow those things to make you lose your value in how you see yourself, because you're still valuable no matter what. So I would say that just going through that process of being in foster care really helped my faith, you know, and it just pushed me to go harder, to go after my dreams and goals, and to want to be an example to others.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, and I know, you know how I talk about college, and I'm such an advocate for college, but I cut up so bad in college.
Yeah, but
I cut up so bad in college, but the thing is that I feel like by you even just sharing that piece of your story, like, you've helped so many people and you don't even know it. So it's just really about like sharing who you are and your experiences. And I hope that we continue to do that and create just safe spaces for teens to be able to have that, you know?
Yeah, and then lastly, like, just speaking of college, even I guess as one of the ladies was speaking from the college about, you know, youth in foster care having a mother figure in their life, because they still need a mother's voice in their life through dating, losing your virginity, if you know, in college, just talking about just different things and dating and how to be a woman and how to respond, and it so that they're not just in survival mode. So that's what we want to let you know, ladies, is that you're not just in survival mode. You are not just trying to make it. We are creating spaces for you to be able to be vulnerable and to know that you are still loved, that you are still beautiful, and you are still wanted after you make a mistake.
Ooh, I love that. That is awesome. You guys, this is not going to be our first summit, and so I really appreciate that. we're definitely still sharing it with other students. And then too, because of confidentiality, we didn't want to have like our first workshop just where it wasn't able to be like on YouTube or something where other people could watch in. And so we want to create a space where people can still like tell like their personal stories too. So I thank you so much. And then, so that was Shakila, and I'll have her information too in her email as well. And then next we have Miss Regina Queen, and we'll let you come off of mute, love.
Share the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Why isn't it not working? Here we go. Start. All right. Greetings, everyone. I am Regina Queen, and I am the founder and creator of A Safe Place to Breathe. And A Safe Place to Breathe is a non-judgmental, holistic sexual wellness program that is designed to enhance social emotional learning. So I'll begin with a story. Recently, I spoke with a young girl, we'll call her Lisa, and she told me that she has unprotected sex, even when she doesn't want to. You know why? It's just because she doesn't know how to say no. But Lisa's not alone. Many young people don't know how to manage their sexuality in a healthy manner. So I looked up some statistics, and according to the CDC, over 13 million sexually transmitted infections were reported between among youth between the ages of 15 and 24 every single year. And over $16 billion is spent for their medical costs. Now, again, my program is non-judgmental, so it's not here to shame anyone. I love what Shakila was saying. It's not here to cause you to beat yourself up, but the program that I offer is called Be Loved. It's a safe place to breathe, but the specific program is Be Loved. Not beloved, but be loved, allowing yourself to love and be loved, because that's what we all are looking for in life. We want to love, and we want somebody to love us. We want to experience that. So what we do is we help you improve your self-esteem and your mental well-being. So it goes hand in hand with what Shakila was talking about, building your self-confidence, but you also want to build your self-esteem and protect your mind. Whenever we're involved in sexual relationships, and again, sex is not bad. Sex is a beautiful thing. It's one of the most fulfilling aspects of the human experience, but it needs to happen at the right time and with the right person. You need to feel safe. You need to feel loved, right? And you really need to explore all of these things with regard to emotional intelligence. You need to be self-aware. You need to learn to have empathy for yourself and for other people. We teach you all these things, teach you how to have self-motivation so you can decide what's best for yourself. So unlike Planned Parenthood or maybe some other religious organizations that you've been exposed to, they teach you about sex that's either fear-based or it's unsafe, right? It's do whatever you want. You just need birth control and condoms. Or they point a finger at you and say, don't do this and don't do that and don't do this. Well, I'm here to help you make the decision for yourself, because you get to choose what you want to do, what you think is best for yourself. However, we need to learn to have our self-motivation and self-regulation, right? Because you may like chocolate chip cookies, and it's okay to eat chocolate chip cookies, but you may not want to eat the whole bag or the whole box, right? So learning how to regulate your sexual urges, it's a beautiful thing, but may not be helpful for you to just allow anybody and everybody to do whatever they want with you. Like Lisa, she didn't even want to do it. And so many of the girls that I work with, they tell me, oh, well, I don't know how to say no, and I don't want to make them mad, and I don't want to do this, instead of learning how to advocate for yourself If you don't feel like doing something, learning how to say no. And we actually practice. So it's not just, I tell you, well, if you don't want to do it, just say no. We role play. What would you do in this situation? I had a young girl in my last program. She actually practiced some of the techniques I shared with them during the training. And she said, you know what? I decided to go home and I didn't feel guilty about it. I didn't let, this person encourage me or coerce me into doing something that I didn't want to do. So that's about self-regulation, right? And social skills, how to talk to other people. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be with regard to a sexual relationship, but learning how to manage your anger, manage different emotions that you're feeling, and learning how to talk about them. So protecting your mental well-being, like the world or society promotes, sex, just do it whenever you want to, whoever you want to, and being more promiscuous. And again, it's your decision if you want to do that. But you notice the more that you're involved with multiple people all the time, it can really affect your mental health. I'm a trainer for NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, and I see so many kids come in that have, allowed themselves to be exposed to so many different people and things, or they were forced to do it, which is not their fault. So again, this is a non-judgmental space. So I'm able to help them say, you know what, maybe you made a mistake, or maybe you did something you didn't want to do, but you have the opportunity to begin again. Every day is a new opportunity to say, you know what, this happened to me, even if it wasn't your fault and somebody forced you to do something. You don't have to carry that. You can put that in the past. You don't have to look in the rearview mirror, and you can start over and know, as Shakila was saying, that you are loved, that you are valued, that you have purpose, that you are worthy. You are worthy of being loved. It doesn't matter what has happened in the past. You can make new decisions for the future. So again, we talk about healthy relationships, how to make healthy choices for yourself, knowing that it all begins with you, knowing how to cultivate hope, that you can hope for the future. There's so many dark things happening in the world. However, excuse me, how do I go back? So many dark things. How do you go away from this? I'm sorry, so sorry. I don't know how to take this off. How do you? Forgive me.
You're just trying to close it?
Yeah, I was trying to close this thing.
You could just hit, there should be an X at the top left.
Thank you. Okay. So now, okay, healthy choices. Thank you. It begins with you. So as I was saying, there's so many dark things going on in the world, and we learn how to meditate and to think on things that are positive and true and lovely, and things that add value to our lives, and knowing that you're important, that you can make choices for yourself, for your own health and happiness, right? And we teach you how to have candid conversations, how to navigate the challenges that you experience during this adolescence period. Like I was saying, we can talk about anything. People are asking about masturbation. People are asking about, multiple partners. Whatever it is, you're never going to be judged by any of the questions that you ask. We just go through each scenario and making sure that you understand the decisions that you're making sure that they're healthy for you, so you don't end up becoming a parent before you're ready. You don't end up with an STI if you can avoid it. We talk about going to get testing, asking your partner to get tested beforehand, and I teach you different breathing techniques and other stress reducing modalities, because so many of the kids are dealing with anxiety. So I teach you different ways to manage that anxiety and release the stress from your bodies. I call it getting the issues out of your tissues, and teaching you how to stop and take a breath, take a break, and just be still, so that you can monitor what's going on in your mind and make the best decision for yourself. Self-exploration, we go over different questions, different prompts. What type of life do you want? So I do wellness coaching, personal wellness coaching for each individual person in the class, and it's 6 weeks. What makes you feel fully alive? Do you believe that you can love without sacrificing your safety or diminishing your dignity? We practice, as I said, how to set healthy boundaries, how not to be forced to do things that you don't want to do, and how to choose what's best for your body, for your life, for your mind. And again, making sure that you love yourself so you don't end up being a parent prematurely, you don't have unplanned pregnancies, and this is not just for girls, this is for the guys too. And I want to make sure that you can avoid sexually transmitted infections. Are there any questions? Feel free to ask. If not, I want to just end with a 3-minute meditation, unless anybody has a question. I did want to say too, I wasn't in foster care specifically. My father was in foster care, and I saw some of the damage that happened to him, you know, based on his parenting style. So I believe that I can, and, you know, some people were saying, well, you haven't been in foster care, you don't know what it's like, but I do know what it's like not to feel loved. I do know what it's like to feel abandoned. I do know what it's like to feel like you don't have anyone standing by your side in certain things, even though I did have both of my parents, but they were kind of estranged in the home. And I do know what it feels like to be loved and how to practice that. So we're going to do a brief 3-minute meditation. How am I on time? Good. Okay. All right. So what I want to encourage you to do is close your eyes. And we're going to do a breathing exercise. Put your hand in front of your face. And I want you to, you know, act like you're going to fog up a mirror. Can you do that with me? Put your hand in front of your mouth and breathe on it like you're fogging up a mirror. And instead of fogging up the mirror on your hand, as you inhale, you're going to exhale and pretend that you're fogging that mirror, but keeping your mouth closed. And that's going to help you breathe even deeper. And as you do that, you'll inhale. And so you're going to exhale really deeply, keeping your mouth closed, but pretending like you're fogging the mirror. So you don't have to keep your hand at your face anymore, but just visualize yourself inhaling and exhaling, fogging the mirror. So it's called ocean breathing. So you kind of hear the sound of the ocean. And if you do that a few times, it helps to regulate your system, your nervous system. I'm going to play some music and we're going to do an affirmation. As Shakila mentioned, affirmations are so powerful. And I want you, as you inhale and exhale, pretending you're fogging that mirror. So you hear the sound of the ocean as you exhale, and you're going to silently say to yourself, and put your hand on your heart, I can feel love. You inhale and exhale, I can feel love. And I'm going to play the music, and we're going to do it for just 3 minutes. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. I can feel love. deserve to be loved. You are worthy of love. Allow yourself to feel love. You are loved. I can feel love. You can feel love. You can be loved. You are worthy of love. Never forget that. Thank you for allowing me to share. A safe place to breathe. Jovan will provide my contact information. You can go to asafeplacetobreathe.com, and my phone number, you can text me, is 424-274-2074. Thank you for allowing me to share. You are worthy of love.
Thank you so much. I feel like I'm still in the meditation. I'm still going on in the meditation. We do have a question from Mr. Samuel Armstrong. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Well, I didn't have a question. I just had an out-of-body experience. That felt real bomb.
It did.
Wow.
I'm still relaxing too.
Wow. Like, I don't even, wow. Feel amazing.
I'm so blessed to hear that. And that's what we provide for all of the students that come. We want them to have that experience so that they know that they are loved and that they don't have to go and have sex with all these different people to have that experience, right? It's right there. The love is right there, knowing that they can love themselves and prepare for a healthy relationship where they can love and be loved. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
do have a question for you before we go to our next presenter. So what other age groups do you work with? Do you only work with like high school and college age students, or do you work with, you know, the younger, like the elementary, middle school age?
I haven't worked with elementary just yet, and that's only because of, needing parental consent. But I'm happy to work with them. I have worked with younger kids, not on this topic specifically, but I would adjust it, just making sure that they learn to understand their body and that people shouldn't be touching them, and that they learn to love themselves and know how to say no, but in a way that they can understand and receive it in a way that's respectful. Because I do want to make sure that even though it's a sexual wellness and sex education course, I'm not teaching positions and all of that stuff. I'm teaching them how to love their bodies and to protect themselves and all of that.
I do love that because we are not going to go into like certain statistics, but there are a lot of children in foster youth that do experience sexual abuse. They're going from home to home and they may not be in the best care, or may have to stay with different people, and you never know what that environment is like. So I do believe that the younger kids are, because they're the most vulnerable, the more that they should be aware of their bodies and protecting themselves and having different resources to be able to navigate that and have a trusted adult too. And then even just being aware of, like, if something happens at home that's negative, or if somebody touched them or did something inappropriate, like they can go to school and tell their counselor, their teacher, or anybody who works at the school, because they all have to report if something happened that harmed them. And that goes from elementary to high school to college even as well.
Yes, absolutely. I know when I raised my sons, I would tell them, we would practice. We would say, don't touch me there. I said, if anybody touches you, you tell them, don't touch me there. And that's not okay. And we would talk about it every day. Did anybody touch you inappropriately? Did anybody say anything to you? So I have experience.
And then also, if a student has experienced any like sexual abuse, do you have a program for them to be able to work through that as well?
Now, I am not a licensed psychologist, so if they are in need of something like that, but as a mother figure, and I do have my master's in public health, I do have programs to help them release the trauma and release the anxiety, and with the affirmations and being able to write, as Shakila was saying, some similar things, so that they can get that out of their system and know that that doesn't define who they are.
I love that. Thank you so much. This was awesome. And then to close us out, we're going to have Mr. Larry come up. Larry Matthew, he's also a pastor as well. So we want to put respect on his name.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Amen.
You put yourself on mute though just now, but go ahead.
I said it's getting dark out here in these streets, so hopefully you guys can still see me. I just wanted to get on here. First of all, Shakila and Regina, it was awesome to hear you guys, and I'm very thankful that we got to get some people on here to hear you guys' message. Again, my name is Larry Williams, Larry Matthew Williams, amen. I have a brand called Next to Get, and actually Next to Get is actually an affirmation itself. When you say I'm next to get my success, I'm next to get greatness, I'm next to get a scholarship, you're speaking what you want into existence. And so the brand itself, that was about you becoming a better you. And if you become better, everything you do becomes better. And my passion is really to tell my story. As a young man, I didn't get my uncles and people to tell me their stories. So because they didn't tell me their stories, I didn't open up. I was not a foster kid, but I did live with a lot of different family members, a lot of different friends, and their parents. So, I felt like, I wasn't really accepted in those homes, right? Because it really wasn't my mom and dad. So I can understand a foster kid's perspective. But the main thing that would hold me back is I didn't express what I was really going through. And so I'm big on telling your story, even while you in your story. So when you're going through something, can you share it in that moment? And I've gotten, really, really good at that. And I think that that's such a big part of how to move forward. It's such a big part of how to even prevent mental illness, because a lot of that is holding things in. And just excited hearing you guys share. But Next to Get is also it's a camp. I do camps for elementary kids where we focus on listening. And when you listen with your eyes and your ears, When parents know this, when we are telling our kids something, and if we're trying to show them something, they might be hearing us, but they didn't see what we showed them, so they don't know. So listening is with your eyes and your ears, and that's throughout our life. And so I like to teach them at a young age, because if they can catch that young, that right there can help them through whatever career they go through. And then it's about effort. I want, everyone's effort is different, but you can see effort. You can see if someone's giving 100%. And so I'm big on kids wanting to give, their best effort. And it's not the same for everybody, but what is your best? And if you can give your best, then you can accomplish a lot. And so, all those things is what Next to Get is about. It's about the journey of life, right? And the younger we can get them to really change their mindset to find the positive and keep moving forward, the better that we're going to be at helping them be next to get their success in every area of their life. We also have a curriculum, and the curriculum is so awesome because it can be tailored to whatever the school agency needs. Well, I've done a Next to Get Bully Free class. I've done Next to Get Success class. I do a Next to Get Greatness class. But at the end of the day, it's really tailored. What does that school need? It can be focused on mental health. It could be focused on sex. It could be focused on, whatever topic they really want. Because again, the brand itself is about you becoming a better you. And it's just been a blessing to see the change that I've been able to have by telling my story. It's such a big part of how other people will open up because you tell your story. There's so many men that I've been able to connect with. And if you ask them why they'll open up to me, it's because I tell my story. And even though our stories, why we in them, and it could be very, very hard, I've been blessed to be able to go through gang banging and lusting after women and doing robberies and all the different things. I've been, selling drugs. I've sold drugs, and this is not something I'm bragging about, but at one point in my life, I even sold drugs to my mom. Like, that's how low I got to where, that even happened. And so, but I can also speak about it. And when you can speak about something, there's always a young man or a young woman who is actually waiting for someone else to say something so that they don't feel alone, right? Because a lot of times we just feel like it's us. And then when we feel like it's us, we'll go, isolate ourselves. And so again, the brand is about you becoming a better you. And real quick, I just want to break the brand down as far as how the curriculum is broken down, because every letter in the brand has a meaning. The letter N stands for next. In order for you to figure out your next move, you have to find the positive, right? If we know when we stay stuck, it's because we're focused on the negative. So if we can find the positive, and there's a positive in everything. If you can learn to find the positive, you can move forward faster and you can figure out your next move. E is for empower. And I've heard the lady speak about this too. We got to believe in ourselves. It's great to have support, but at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself. You got to know your self-worth. X factor is our mind. Our minds are powerful. One of my favorite quotes is, the biggest obstacle you will ever overcome is your mind. If you can overcome that, you can overcome anything. The T is for transformation. As you start to figure out your next move, as you start to empower yourself, as you start to use your X factor, you start to transform. You start to realize it's going to take a commitment, some discipline. The number 2 in Next to Get, the number 2 is you plus action equals 2. You can't gain, you cannot obtain, you can't get anything without action. G is for growth. Every year we should want to be a better us. You should want to be a better you. E is for earn. We really got away from the earning aspect because of social media and all the different things. And I love social media, but a lot of people don't use it in the way that they should because they don't have an identity. They don't really know what they want to do. So they just see what people have and they want it, but they don't actually have the desire to put the work in. So we got to want to earn it. We got to want to put in the work so that, so that we get that fulfillment of, man, I accomplished something. And then T is for thrive. Thrive is when you actually go through this process and then you realize, man, life is a journey. Life is going to have a lot of ups and downs, but it's a journey. And all the downs actually make me better. All the downs is actually build my character. And so when you realize, yeah, I'm going to have some bad things are going to happen, but I know I can push through. So then the question is not, how can I be next to get my success? The question is, what am I next to get? And I think Shakila brought up Oprah. You know, Oprah, if you hear her story, and I'm sure, you know, Shakila knows her story's deep. Like, she went through a lot. A lot of people would just see Oprah and they're, oh, she's this billionaire. But what she went through and what she is now are two different things. And she has that mindset that everything she does prospers, right? But if she stayed focused on what she did, what happened in the past, she'd be stuck and she wouldn't be Oprah, right? And there's so many stories. You can go to the Kevin Hart, LeBron James, like, these people have stories just like us, but they need to be told in a way where the young kids, young men and young women are actually hearing them, so that they can realize, okay, it's not just me. Let me figure out how I can move forward so I can be next to get in every area of my life. And so again, I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I'm very thankful for what all of us are doing, because at the end of the day, I think I've heard everyone who spoke. It's about helping that person become better. It's about giving them knowledge to become better. It's about figuring out their identity. And that's what I think, you know, if we even coming together next to get united, right? Coming together and doing things like this on a bigger scale is how we can really make a big impact. So I thank you, Javon, for putting this together. I thank you, Shakila, for sharing. I thank you, Regina, for sharing. I thank you for the people that joined. And I'm excited for what comes from this, because even the people on this call who didn't speak have a story, right? And their story can actually impact someone that, you know, maybe our story doesn't impact them in the same way. And so that's what's so powerful about telling your story. So keep your mind right, stay focused. Everyone on this call, be next to get your success. And success is not about money. Success is about your purpose. Success is about who you know you are. Success is about your fulfillment in life. Money is a big part of the world and a big part of how we can help others, but that's not success. As you guys know, we've seen many, many people commit suicide who are multimillionaires, right? You know, in theory, like, wow, how does that happen? Because success actually has nothing to do with money. Happiness, joy has nothing to do with money. That's who, you know, it's who you created to be. Can you be who you created to be? And that's how you can be next to get your success. So thank you guys for listening to me. I'm excited for what's going to happen with this. Thank you again, Javon. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited. Be next to get. Bam.
I love it. I love that you spoke about just not focusing on the negative, because everybody does have a story. But I also know that you don't only work with elementary school kids, you also work with middle school, you also work with high school kids,
Yes.
and you focus on that. So can you tell us a little bit more about those programs too? And just maybe some of the youth that you have worked with that maybe have not come from the best home situations, but how they've overcome and how you have managed to help them just get over different hurdles in life too.
Amen, amen. So thank you. My camps are mainly for elementary. The curriculum is mainly for middle school and high school and above. And you know, I've and actually, you know, Daylon, Javon. Daylon is a young man. He was the first kid I ever mentored about 4 years ago. You know, came from a broken home. His dad was killed. You know, he was 14, I think 13, 14 at the time when I met him. And they were living in the car, right? And I actually didn't even think I was doing enough to help him and his family. He's living in the car with his mom, his 2 brothers and sister, and he's the oldest out of them. And the brand, and I would love if he would get on, but the brand and how I spoke life to him changed his life. He got his license. He got his license driving my car. He's in college now. He works 2 jobs. He's very, he's really an entrepreneur. He's starting a clothing brand. So all these things, and he, I mean, it's so crazy. And I know you guys have heard people that you've impacted talk about you, but it's such a fulfillment. Like, wow, I didn't even think I did that much. And he loves the brand, and he's out, you know, speaking life to other people. And that's really the main thing is I don't want to just help somebody. I want to help somebody so that they can go help somebody, because just, I'm not going to meet everybody they meet. Right. So I want to impart to them so that they can impart to others. And this becomes a domino effect. Right. And this becomes something that's bigger than just me or just us. It's a lifestyle that we can start having, you know, the generation to generation go and inspire others to be next to get their success. So I really love middle school and high school and older. That, to me, my story relates more to them. I'm not going to tell an elementary kid, you know, some of the stuff I went through, because that's not age appropriate, right? And but so my passion is more middle school, high school, and above, because I relate more. I think they relate more to me, and they're going through a lot of things I already went through. Right, they're going through a lot of things I already went through, and you know, and it's that that knowledge we can share and that wisdom we can share of how we got past it. See, a lot of times we don't want to share wisdom because we really haven't gotten past it. So if I haven't gotten past something, or I haven't had a victory in something, then I may not share it to help someone else because I haven't gone through it. Right. And so when you have those victories, you have to share them, because that's how it can make it easier. Not gonna make it, they gonna still go through something. I think that's a misconception, that, you know, if you meet somebody, you help them not go through it, they'll go through it. Everyone gets their own experience, but you should be able to help them go through it easier. It shouldn't be a long process like I may have, you know, went through. It shouldn't be something that puts you in, you know, you shouldn't have to go to jail if, you know, if we had conversations early in your life, right? So I think that is the part that really fulfills me. Even with Sam, who's on the call, you know, hearing him talk about me is like, wow. And again, it's God, because I don't think I'm doing that much, right? But you know, I just think the brand itself and the light that you can speak into others consistently, I think that's a big thing too. You know, it's cool to go and speak at all these events, but if you can't really be consistent in someone's life, then you're really not impacting them. And for me, Next to Get is about really having those intimate relationships and being able to spend time. That's why the curriculum is not just one day. The curriculum is like a 4-week program where I get to really spend time with these kids and really interact with them and share my story. So by the end of those 4 weeks, they want to share their story. By the end of those 4 weeks, they want to stay connected. By the end of those 4 weeks, it's not just, you know, bye and you're done. We still keep a communication going. That's, you know, and you know, I want to build the brand where, because I know eventually I can't keep communication with everybody, but eventually I have other people under the brand that we don't just go to the school. We keep that communication with these young men and young women so that we can keep helping them down the road, because life happens. And, you know, everyone's gonna have that. I just had a last week had got my feelings. Like, your feelings are real. It's, do I stand on the truth or do I stay stuck in my feelings? And that's what I think we have to help each other get through. So I hope I answered your question. I was long-winded on that one.
I mean, you absolutely did, because people don't bring up the different facts of staying connected to youth, and not just foster youth, but just youth in general. They need to have that connection. They still need to have that stability. So I feel like that is one aspect of all of our programs that we still follow up, whether it's me on like the education side, Shakila on the confidence and the different workshops that she does for students, Regina with the healthy relationships, you with, you know, like really finding your passion and really basically kind of like being like a father, big brother type to these young men and women too. And so I feel like that's really important. And I just would like to thank all of our presenters. I know that the presenters from Pierce College. They're not on anymore, but I do appreciate them coming on as well and sharing information, because a lot of people don't know about what they can do with school. And so they get out of foster care and they age out of the system, and then they don't know what resources are available to them afterwards. And there's so many things for students now in college and just post high school in general. So I just appreciate all of you guys for coming. And my name is Jovan Myers. Again, I'm the founder of Opportunity Exposed, and we do different college events. We do different wellness events. We have Shaquila Stewart from Walk This Way Movement, Regina Queen from A Safe Place. That meditation is still sticking with me. And then we have Larry Matthew with Next to Get, and he has different programs for foster youth. And then we had the counselors before from LA Pierce College, and we have a lot of different colleges in LA County within the LA Community College District too. So those aren't just one school that you can be a part of. And then we also have our Cal States, our UC. So in the future, we're going to continue so we can also hear from them as well. So we thank you guys for coming tonight. And, you know, we could talk after and see how everybody's doing. It'll be confidential. So I appreciate you guys.